Good morning, everybody. It is 7:13 in the morning on this wonderful Friday of March 16th, 2018, 2016. And I don't know, I'm starting a little early because I want to go over a little bit of the Ichimoku system again with you. Because we are focusing on this, I want to go over some of the entry signals that we take, the conditions, and yeah, we'll kind of just go from there. And we have some, it's Friday, so big news day is coming out. Housing starts, building permits, all that jazz. It comes out at 7:30, so we have some time. And we're not really looking to take trades until after that, anyways. So, taking a peek here at our, let's look at gold, I guess. And let me do this here. Okay. So one of the signals we want to look for, maybe I want to make that bigger, is these crosses. All right, these aren't regular moving averages. These are the averages of the high and the low. So it's the high and the low of 9 periods for the blue line, which is the conversion line, the Tenkan-sen. 9 periods back. This line represents the high and the low divided by 2. Okay? Well, yeah. Not by 2. But it's the average of the high and the low over this period. So that's why it's, more straight or flat, it doesn't it's not as smooth, and that's kind of nice. The other one is the baseline, the Kijun-sen. We're looking at a 26 period, and that's the same, the high and the low, average of the highs and the lows. And then that's plotted here. Okay, so I do not like moving average crossovers. I hate them. I think that they are dumb. However, when we are looking at, why is this like this right now? There we go. When we're looking at this is not your normal average crossover of using the close. So if you remember what the cloud looks like, okay, here's our cloud on the hourly. And we do want these colored green and red, okay? When we see a cross happen, let's look at it this way. So here's the blue line is above the red line. The conversion line is above the baseline. And that's still bullish. When it crosses, that is a bearish signal. Okay, that's telling us that trends are probably going to change. And when it happens right before you get into a cloud, that's kind of a time when you want to consider maybe looking at scaling off some of your position or exiting altogether. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. We don't take a trade just because that is turned, that cross has happened, okay? And then we see that we are inside the cloud here, and the baseline is still, the conversion line is still below the baseline. So that is a bearish trending look that we've got there. The second condition we want to see is, so if we're going to go short, let's look at the scenario for going short. Is right here. Does the cloud change? If we're inside the cloud and the base and the conversion lines are moving out of it, we need to make sure that this cloud is red, that it's changed color. Basically, if we're going to be bearish, we want to make sure that the cloud is that color. Okay? The second component, or those are the first two. So if we're going to take a short signal, is the conversion line lower than the baseline? Yes. Is the cloud bearish? Yes. Next condition. The lagging span. Here's the lagging span. So this is, remember, lagging span is just the price action, but it's shifted backwards. Okay, it's the same candlestick patterns. It's just the close of a candlestick. This is just a line graph of, instead of using candlesticks or Heikin-Ashi, this is just a line. The next thing we want to see is the lagging span also below the cloud? Okay, and it is. So here's what we're looking at. Let me get a replay here. Actually, let's go back here. When we start to see a flattening out of the levels, that's a sign that something's, not looking right. And so, we'd still be bullish here, we'd still be trading it. And then, but then when we notice price starting to trade below both of the lines, especially when they're close to each other, kind of giving us a warning signal. Okay. And we're just kind of looking at this, and then notice here's the cross, and we came down. Now, we do and can find support at the top of this cloud because it is a thick cloud. We've been in an established uptrend. If I look at the oscillator down here, we are in buying territory. So this would be a buy signal. But the conditions for buying are not met. Why? Because we are the base, or the conversion is below the base, and we're inside the cloud. So we would not take a buy there. So now we just kind of wait. We have remember here's the cross of the conversion down below the base. That is a warning sign. And notice the cloud is changing as well. The cloud has changed. So we're coming from where we have all conditions met for long trades to a mix where we are entering into meeting conditions for a short setup. So I hit play. A flat line like that is a very strong signal. And we don't trade in the cloud. We're just gonna let everybody else battle this out. We're not interested in participating. Okay, now I should have said this. The first condition that we want to have for going short, or we want to have if we're going long, is for short, price needs to be below the cloud. We are below the cloud. Okay? We don't want the lagging span inside the price range. We want the lagging span to be below price the whole time. We want price to be below the cloud. We want the baseline to be below the conversion line. And we want the cloud. So we have 3 of those conditions for taking a short. Those are met. The cloud is appropriate for a short. The conversion line is below the baseline. That's a condition for a short. And we are outside of the cloud. That's a condition for a short. So we are waiting on this guy. We're waiting on the lagging span to get below the cloud. Okay? So we're just going to kind of wait and let this thing do what it needs to do, because we could have gotten in early, but okay, here we go. Let me bring that back just a second. Because we could have gone short here. Right? Gone short. Boom, made some pips. But then what happened? Right as the lagging span hit this, it found some support. Price found support. And we traded back up against the conversion line. And now there's our short opportunity showing up. Fake out to the top side, boom, nice move. Okay, the farther we get from the baseline, the slower moving line, the more condition we have for it showing an oversold condition, and it'll return to it. And so what are we looking for an early warning sign for a trend change here? Look at the lagging span. If the lagging span starts to get inside the candlesticks, then we are looking at a possible change in trend, a possible flat trading opportunity. So let's just kind of watch this play out some more. Still a short. Now the lagging span is inside our candlesticks. Okay? It's sitting inside of it. That is not a good sign. Okay? That is a sign that the trend is weakening and that we're getting a little bit weak on this downtrend. So we may want to consider, taking price off and wait for re-entry short or wait for us to go long. So we're gonna watch what happens here. Price is it's gone into the cloud, so we would exit that trade. Notice also what happened here. We had a cross of the base, or of the conversion to the baseline. So the baseline is now above the conversion line, showing us, and the lagging span is trading inside this recent price action. It's above these candlesticks now. So we're missing two criteria to continue, or to go long, but we're just kind of holding now because we're still down here. Now we crossed back below the cloud. Notice how it found support on the baseline. And we're sitting inside the cloud still. The baseline it's a choppy trade. That's why we don't trade inside the cloud. Look at that. Okay. Now, okay. All right. Now look what happened. A very thin cloud. And we had a breakout above it. This is a pretty safe go long. We are certainly, you would go long here. We are above the conversion line. Conversion line's above the baseline. Price is above both. The cloud changed color already, and the lagging span is kind of touching out. But you can give yourself a little. You can kind of, break the rules for entries a little bit by just looking at how thin that cloud is. That's what this means, is that this cloud is not very. It's not going to continue this previous trend because it's so thin. Well, I mean, it could. It's just I actually don't know because I didn't pay attention to this very closely. So yep, there's our long condition, and that's what we have going on here. And now we're above. So where are we going to buy in a pullback? We're going to buy in a pullback to the baseline or the top of this cloud. Oh, but now we might be wanting to take that trade out and leave it flat or take a small loss on it. Why? Wow. Maybe gold isn't a good one to use. That's a big dive there. But why? Because we re-entered the cloud. We had a cross under of the conversion line below the baseline. Sitting in the cloud, price is lagging span is below price right now, so we have a lot of reasons why we should have been out of that trade, and we probably would have saved ourselves some damage by leaving. Let me go right here. Because now we know that the lagging span is below price. Okay. The lagging span is below price. We had a crossover. The cloud changed. It's still green. We're still above it. But once we enter it, we're probably going to want to exit because we no longer have a lot of conditions for staying long. And there we are. Lagging span below the cloud. Price trading beneath the conversion line and the baseline. And we're sitting inside the cloud. You don't want to wait to go long again. If you are long, you want to shave that off. So we're going to go ahead and take that exit. And we probably saved ourselves some pips there. And would have had if you were fast enough, probably could have gotten in on that entry. But, yeah. So that's essentially what we've got going on here. Okay, let's take a look at our trades from yesterday. So the gold trade yesterday, we wanted to go short at 13.19.44. Let's see, that was the 15th. Back here, yeah. So we wanted to go short at 13.19.44 if the lagging span is below the 1 hour cloud. So 13.19, right around here, which we did got some nice pips and right on that. I actually did take that trade yesterday. Got a nice trade on it. Now, let's look at our dollar-yen trade. This is the disappointing one. But really, we just want to go long anywhere between 105 and 106 because basing this one on a long-term hold on the weekly, not on this Ichimoku system right now. Then we had the New Zealand dollar. We wanted to short. Oh, this has been a glorious short, guys. I've been talking about this short for a long time because how extended it is. And this one was just a glorious mover. We wanted to short yesterday. The signal came out at 8:20. And we're at 8. There we are. We wanted to go short at 123.10 if the lagging span is below the 1 hour cloud. And so even if we entered in right down here, or what am I saying, 123.10? At 0.729. 729 is where we wanted to go short. And if you took that short, we are, 40, 50 pips into profit right here. Again, those conditions were all meant to take the short. Why? The cloud, the conversion line is below the baseline. The cloud is red, indicating bear. The lagging span is below the cloud, and we're below price. So that was a great short entry. All of our conditions were met. And you'll notice when you have those 4 conditions met, you usually have a great, move when that happens. Aussie dollar. So we wanted to go short at a pullback to 78.6 only if the lagging span is below the 1 hour cloud. So yesterday we wanted to pull back at 786. We did not get all the way to 786. In fact, we never really got that high. Maybe we did. Depending if you took it and waited, it did not get up that high. But once the lagging span dropped below, that was the condition to short. Okay, and we'd be in, if you got in like at 78, 5 or 78.4 or 78, let's say 78.30, you're still in some nice pips of profit there. Okay, now we had US dollar, Canadian dollar. We wanted to go long at a pullback to 129.5 if we got to the top of the cloud area. So yesterday, we did not really get back to the top of that cloud area at all. We just kind of stayed above. I did not get an entry. Just a lot of strength behind this move. Okay, looking at our markets today. I'm looking at the gold trade here. Okay. What are my conditions? Is the lagging span below the cloud? Yes. Is price below the cloud? Yes. Is the conversion line above the baseline? No, it just crossed above. However, this is where you use a little common sense. This is an extended drive up. Where did we find resistance? At the top of the cloud here. Flat, again, flat levels represent very strong resistance areas or support, depending where you're coming from. Our oscillator is very overbought. This is a short area. I took a short here just a few minutes before I even started talking to you guys. And you'll probably get a better price than I did, actually. Okay. So we're looking to go short there. What do we want to watch for? We want to watch if the lagging span gets into the price here, then we want to probably consider exiting, because then that means price is probably sitting somewhere in the cloud and that this has not crossed down below again the conversion below the base. So, we're just watching this area pretty carefully. The euro dollar trade. Okay, what do we got going on here? We have a pullback to the baseline, which is a resistance zone. The cloud is bearish, signaling good bearish move. We're below the cloud with the lagging span, and we're not inside price. And the conversion line is below the baseline, so this is a good short area. I actually put this trade in before I even talked to you guys. I put the trade ID in at 709. We wanted to go short at 123.23. And that's what we've got going on here. Oscillators overbought. We're looking at good selling condition on the volume, so this is a good sell signal here. The pound dollar. Flat area. If we trade below here, if all these conditions are met, then we're going to look to go short on the pound dollar. Let's look at the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. What do we have going on here? All right, so we're really extended, okay? We are really extended beyond the baseline. So the only time that we're really going to want to short, and because we're so extended, we don't really want to. Here's a huge divergence. Not looking to go long, don't want to participate in a scalp, but not looking to take a position here, okay? This is one of the great things about the Ichimoku system, and probably the most important thing about it is that it keeps you out of trades. It tells you when you really shouldn't trade, and right now we don't trade this. The Aussie dollar, similar situation. We don't want to participate in this. It's very extended. We kind of missed the boat already. We didn't if we traded up here. So we are not interested in trading that. Pound dollar, we're waiting for condition to be met to buy or to sell. Euro pound. Pretty messy move down. I mean, we are technically looking at a short opportunity. Move this out of the way here on my other screen. But we just kind of want to analyze how we're going to behave right here. Okay, now we've got US dollar, Canadian dollar. Bit of a drop and a dip there. We should expect that. Not looking to take a trade. Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. Not looking to take a trade. The dollar Swiss. There may be a trade here. What do we got going on? Okay, prices above the cloud. Yes. The cloud in front of us is green. Yes. If we're going to go long, what are our conditions? Price above the cloud is green in front of us. Yes. is the baseline, or so, God, I always say I'm wrong. Is the blue conversion line above the red baseline? Yes. Has there been a crossover? Yes. Is the lagging span above the cloud and not trading below the candlesticks? Yes. This is indicative of a pullback area, so that would be a buy. Okay. Then let's see, what else do we have? Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Ooh. Folks, we are probably going to get a nice little short here. What are we waiting for? What do we got? Is the baseline below the... Is the Oh, God. Is the conversion line below the baseline? Yes. Is the cloud in front of us bearish? Yes. Is price below the cloud? Yes. Is the lagging span below the cloud? Not yet. Not yet. So we are looking at a short opportunity coming. So we're looking at a AUD, CAD short between probably 1.014 and 1.017 when lagging span is below cloud. Okay. Wait a minute. Looking for... I'm trying to get it on the straight here, but I can't find my AUD. Where the hell are you? I'll be with you in 1 second. Maybe I don't see it on here. That's odd. Really? That is not a traded pair on here? Well, that is unfortunate. Oh well, what do you do? But that is a short opportunity showing up. Okay, now let's look at the Euro Aussie dollar. Not looking at a trade there. See, this is great because the more you use the Ichimoku system, and this is what I use to get profitable. The more you use it, the more you can just kind of look at it and you know what's going on, and that's exactly what Ichimoku Kinko Hayo Hio, however that's pronounced. That's exactly what it means. It means that taking a look at the market or the charts at a glance, you can determine a lot of what's going on just by using this system. Okay. Now look at the Euro Yen. No trade right there. Pound Aussie dollar. Big old rally. Very extended up here. So we're not looking to take a trade. Pound yen. Very little choppy here. A lot of chop. Probably looking at some consolidation and moving higher, but not taking a trade here. The pound Kiwi, nothing. Okay. Let's look at our dollar index. What are we doing here? Dollar index, it is in a buying condition. So keep the eyes out for that. Gold, yep, doing a little bit of a drive down here. That's what we want to see. Euro dollar, we want to see it move lower. Dollar yen, we're really just long on all of this because of the very divergent oversold conditions on the weekly. And I mean, even if we look at the hourly here, this divergence is intense. 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows on our oscillator, and 4 consecutive lows in our lower lows in our price. So yeah, this is when this guy moves, it's going to move pretty heavily. A lot of reward for the risk here. New Zealand dollar, really not interested in getting in any of that. Let's watch how these play out. Let's take a peek at cryptocurrencies real quick. So cryptos, what do we got going on? Well, flat conditions turning into a triangle. Flat conditions turning into a triangle. This is our all-time down, long-term downtrend line, which we're still following, but we're not trading below. I want to also show you... Oh, it's there already. This is our long-term uptrend line. Just put some things in here. Okay. Where can't I find... Where are we at? Okay, sorry. Finding support here so far. Really a breakdown below here and then down into the supported region would not be a bad thing. Again, forecasting forward between tomorrow and the whole weekend going into Monday, watch these markets in cryptos. Big moves coming. Big moves coming. So be very prepared. Litecoin's doing its thing. Flat neutral conditions. Ethereum is just the worst of the majors. I had totally liquidated my Ethereum position because, it had been outperforming Bitcoin for a while and then just kind of, went flat, and I was anticipating it. Shame on me, I was just doing that based on a hunch and not technical analysis. That's why I got burned on this trade. But, Ethereum is, if you watch Shark Tank, Ethereum is dead to me. Like Mr. Wonderful would say, it's dead to me. Now, DXY. We're entering reversal zones here in the dollar index. Why? Well, because we are inside the cloud, conversion is above the base, and the lagging span is trading inside here. So we're looking, and we're very divergent. Again, very divergent on the daily. If we look at it on the weekly, what do we got? Pretty okay on the weekly still. If you're still bearish on this, you'd still have a good bias on it. The daily, though, is looking a little suspect. And we bounced right off that 618 fib retracement. Beautiful. Okay, looking at our gold trade here. Bring it back down to the daily. Yeah, we're in an ugly area on the daily in gold. Lagging span is trading inside the price. There's already been a crossover of the conversion line below the base. We're sitting inside the cloud. The cloud over here has started to turn red. Okay? So look out for that. Euro dollar. Showing a little apprehension at these levels. Bit of a pause here. Dollar yen catching a bit of a bid. It's divergent on the daily. If we take a look at the hourly here, what do we have going on? Caught a nice bid in this divergence, but we're gonna really have to have a big push up to have that reversal. But you know, looking at it on the weekly, and we are very much forming a base and a rounded bottom. And we're going to have a few weeks of increased up prices. Okay. We're getting closer to this downtrend line. And we're thinning out up above us. So this resistance here will not be very heavy. When price returns to this zone, we could be in a huge breakout with the dollar yen. So I'm planning on long-term holding, accumulating, and sitting and taking a lot of paper losses before I exit any trade, because I am looking, you know, at my first kind of peeling off profit area at the 112, 111 area. So I am willing to hang out and wait for it. Actually, probably peel some off at 108 here based on the weekly. We'll see. Because we are very extended between these two price zones. About 430 pips of extension between the base and where we currently are at. So there will be a short-term bounce even just on the weekly. New Zealand dollar. Bring you down to the daily. Entering into some weakness here. There's a little trend here that has broken below it. That's bearish. And we've been needing to break for a while on this. It's been a little extended for too long. Aussie dollar. Ooh, that is setting up to be a nice daily trade. As soon as we get this below the cloud. Yep. Pound dollar. On the daily, we're sitting inside the cloud here. Euro pound. Similar. US dollar, Canadian dollar really entering in a breakout phase. Cool. Yeah, we got some good trades coming up in front of us, and we should be excited about a lot of these trades. You know, I think it's been a pretty good week, with the exception of my being kind of under the weather the other day. Trades have been nice, been profitable, and I think we're going to have a fantastic week next week as well, especially with our cryptocurrencies. We're going to see some monstrous moves. So, yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Take care of yourself. Take a break from the markets. And we will see you all on Monday. Bye.